no matter how many mistakes you make or how slow you progress, you're still way ahead of everyone who isn't trying. Hello children, my name is Muhammadullah and I'm your English teacher. In this video, we're going to learn how to introduce yourself. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started. Here we go. If I ask you this question, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Then what will be your answer? Answer me. What will be your answer? If I ask you, who are you? Then what will be your answer? Okay, let me show you the answer. You need to answer like this. I am Abdul. I am Abdul. Your answer should be like this. Notice one thing here. I am Abdul. A is in capital letter here. Why? A is in capital. The first word or alphabet I is in capital here, and the first alphabet of this name Abdul is in capital. A is in capital. Why? Because if you are going to write a name, then you have to write the first alphabet in capital letter. If your name is Rashid, then you will say, I am Rashid. And you have to write the first alphabet of Rashid. R is in capital letter. Okay? If your name is not Abdul, your name is Rashid, then you may write, I am Rashid. I am Rashid. If your name is Ahmad, then you may write, I am Ahmad. But you have to remember one thing, the first alphabet of your name must be in capital letter. Alright? Let me ask you the next question. How old are you? 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 Answer me. I'm ready. How old are you? Let me show you the answer. Here we go. I am 6 years old. If you are 6 years old, then you may answer like this. I am 6 years old. But if you're not 6 years old, you are 7 years old, then you may write I am 7 years old. If you're 8 years old, then you may write here, I am 8 years old. If you're 5 years old, then you may write, I am 5 years old. How old are you? I am 6 years old. I'm 6 years old. I'm 6 years old. How old are you? I'm 6 years old. Let me show you the next question. Where do you live? Where do you live? Where do you live? Answer me. Where do you live? Let me show you the answer now. I live in Shanti Vihar. I live in Shanti Vihar. You see here S is in capital here again. I is in capital. Why? Because this one is the first word or alphabet of the sentence. So that's why this one is in capital. But rest of the alphabet are in small letter. See, L is in small, I small, V small, E small. But here, when we come here, we see S is in capital again, Shanti, and V. This one, V, is in capital because it's a name. Shanti Vihar is a name of a place, so that's why it is mentioned here in capital. Okay, I live in Shanti Vihar. I live in Shanti Vihar. If you live in somewhere else, then you have to write like this. I live in, let's say, Chamawa. I live in Chamawa. See, notice here, I've written C in capital. Why? Because it's a name of a place. Chamawa is a place and it's a name. That's why I've written this C in capital letter. Chamawa. I live in Chamawa. If you are living in Fatgudiya, then you may write I live in Fatgudiya. But the P of Fatgudiya must be in capital letter. Alright? Let me ask you another question. What does your father do? Wh- What does your father do? What does your father do? What does your father do? Answer me. What does your father do? Let me show you the answer now. My father is a doctor. 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 If I ask you what does your father do, then your answer should be like this. My father is a doctor. If he is a doctor, then you may answer like this. But what if your father is not a doctor? If your father is a carpenter, then you may say, my father is a carpenter. 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 If your father is a farmer, then you may write farmer. You may say, my father is a farmer. You may say, my father is a carpenter. If your father is a teacher, then you may write, my father is a teacher. Alright? So if somebody is ask you, what does your father do? You may answer like this, my father is a teacher, or my father is a farmer, or my father is a carpenter. Alright? Let's move to the next. If I ask you, what does your mother do? 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 Answer me. What does your mother do? Let me show you the answer. My mother is a housewife. My mother is a housewife. If your mother is not working anywhere, she's just making food for you, she's taking care of you guys, then your answer might be like this, my mother is a housewife. But if your mother is working somewhere, then you may answer like this. If your mother is a teacher, she is teaching somewhere, then you may answer, my mother is a teacher. You may write teacher here. If your mother teaching somewhere, you may write here teacher. If your mother is a teacher, if your mother is a doctor, you may write my mother is a doctor. If your mother is a farmer, oh, by the way, this one is, I don't think your mother would be a farmer. By the way, if she is working in a field, then you may say this. Alright, so that's all.